recording.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we're so thankful for your manifold blessings. Lord, you've been good to us. You give us rain and sunshine in due season. You allow us to prosper in agriculture and industry. Lord, you bless us with your presence and your guidance. Lord, we're so thankful that you are our God. And
Thanks, Kelly.
Oh, crap. Sorry.
we're thankful that
Next up is public comment on anything that's on the agenda today. If you have anything, step to the podium, state your name, your address. Go ahead, Bill.
Lord, I pray that you would add your wisdom and your guidance as we discuss matters of importance. Bless these men and women who decided to serve the citizens of our county. Lord, we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Bill. It's on.
I thought it was a wishing. I thought he had something else. And we never told him to
Okay, it's really 8 o'clock now, so I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. We've already had our pledge and our prayer. First up is public comment on anything on the agenda items. If you have anything, please step to the podium, state your name and your address, and you have 3 minutes. Hearing nothing, we're moving on. The next up is public comment, or excuse me, public hearing for 8 o'clock. It is now 8 o'clock, and the public hearing is on proposals for the Ben Hur building for repair and maintenance of the facility that sits at the southwest corner of Water and Main. If anybody from the public would like to make any comment, you're welcome to step to the podium and state your name and your address. Hearing nothing, it is 8:01. I will close the public hearing at this time. We did receive one proposal. We will take that proposal and review it and have a decision at a later meeting. The one proposal is from Anderson Partners out of Indianapolis, Indiana. I believe Mr. Anderson is with us here. Would you, anything you'd like to say, John, about your proposal?
Came to light with
Questions? Mary, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I know that Mr. Anderson has submitted a proposal. We've worked with Mr. Anderson for a while, and really for me, it's about just ask the councils, our commissioners to consider the highest and best use for that building, being in the heart of our downtown. There's a lot happening in the downtown, a lot of momentum right now. We just want to find a use for that building that will further what's already happening in the downtown.
Thank you. We will have that on our agenda for the August 14th meeting. Next up is approval of minutes from July 9th regular meeting and the executive session on July 12th. I'd entertain a motion for approval.
Move to approve.
I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next up is claims, approval of the claims, accounts payable $866,290.75 and payroll of $338,255.70. Jen?
You got it right. The accounts payable is up a little bit due to some distribution of some internal grants, and it looks like a lot of drainage maintenance payments also.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the claims as presented.
Approve claims.
I'll second. Any discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes 2-0. Anything else from the auditor?
I've been talking with the State Board of Accounts recently about the type of fund we'll need to set up for the fully self-insured insurance that we're now under. She got back to me last week on it, but they still do not have a best practices memo that they want to send out on that. So she said I would know as soon as she did. So more info to come on that.
Okay. Dan said he will get with you to get some information on that.
Okay.
Any other department heads or elected officials have anything to report? Okay. Moving on to old business, going to turn it over to Dan. We have 6 ordinances here for second reading, and starting out with Veteran Court Problem Solving Grant.
Ordinance 2018-15 would establish the Veterans Court, Indiana Supreme Court fiscal year 2018 Problem Solving Grant Fund. This is a $10,000 grant the Veterans Court has received. It would be used for training, incentives, chemical test participant transportation, evaluation, treatment of medical expenses, and housing. And this is a non-reverting fund, and this is second reading.
I'd entertain a motion at this time to approve 2018-15.
So moved.
I'll second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Next one is 2018-16.
This ordinance would establish the Drug Court Problem Solving Court Grant Fund, similar to the ordinance you just had. This is a $10,000 grant for the drug court. It would provide training, incentives, chemical tests, participant transportation, evaluation, treatment, and medical expenses and housing to support the drug court program. This is also a fiscal year grant and is a non-reverting fund. This is second reading.
I entertain a motion for ordinance 2018-16.
So moved.
I'll second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? 2018-17.
This ordinance would establish the Veterans Treatment Grant Fund. This is a $84,680 grant received by the court to support the Veterans Court program. The money would be used for compensation and benefits for a program coordinator, case manager, and a contract mentor coordinator, drug training and mentor training for the program. This is a non-reverting fund. This is also second reading.
This time I'd entertain a motion for 2018-17.
So moved.
I'll second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? 2018-18 is a drug-free Montgomery County Coalition.
This is a $12,100 grant received by the Probation Department for the Drug-Free Montgomery County Coalition Local Coordinating Council mini grants program. These funds would be used to pay for veterans treatment court incentives, drug court participation incentives, juvenile drug screens, juvenile True Thoughts program, and substance abuse assessments for jail inmates. This is a non-reverting fund and also second reading.
I'd entertain a motion for 2018-18.
So moved.
Any questions? Nope. I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 2018-19, Coalition of Montgomery County Investment Policy.
This
Codification, sorry.
This ordinance merely codifies the investment policy adopted by the Montgomery County Council. We have placed in your policy section, section 3621, a new section which contains all of the rules, and there are many regarding the investment of county funds. Of course, it's the council's job to adopt this policy, which is good for 4 years, but this policy has not been contained in your code. So no one could have found it, the public could not have seen it. So this ordinance merely puts it in your code so people can see those rules. This is second reading.
I entertain a motion on 2018-19.
So moved.
I'll second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? And then the last one is 2018-20, amending Chapter 157, private sewage disposal.
Yes, this ordinance amends Chapter 157 and changes a couple definitions and a couple fees in the section regarding private sewage disposal. And these are requests made by your health department, and this is second reading also.
I entertain a motion for 2018-20.
So moved.
I'll second. Questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? And the motion passes as well. Moving on to new business, first up is Matt Oates from San Francisco Health.
Good morning.
Morning, Matt.
How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
I'm Matt Oates from Franciscan Health. Stockwell. I'm here to request the annual lane restriction for our 5K for our community day on Saturday, September 15th. It will be from 6:30. We're asking for the lane restriction from 6:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Saturday, September 15th. We have already gone to the city and got permission for their part, but it'll go from the backside of Christie Bush Chevrolet on North 100 West to about 1182 West 300 North. County roads impact our North 100 West and West 300 North before the bridge over I-74, and then we'll turn around on West 300 North. We will do our usual of notifying residents and businesses of the restriction with mailings and signage. We'll provide volunteers on the course to make sure everybody's safe. We will complete a $1 million certificate of insurance to the county if that is still the correct amount. All right, and then we'd like to use golf cart and utility vehicles on the course in case something happens to somebody. We'll, of course, provide medical personnel since we are a hospital. And we'll ask the sheriff's department if they have the capacity to provide a volunteer, or if not, we'll put a vehicle at the base of the bridge, so no one's zipping over the top of the bridge.
Ryan, do you have anything?
Matt, do you need one of the lighted signs?
That would be great.
Ryan, do you have anything?
I don't, it would just rely on the call volume that day, but we'd be happy to help.
Okay. At this time, I'd make a motion to approve the request from San Francisco's Health Crawfordsville for September 15th, main restriction from 6:30 a.m. till 10 a.m.
Second.
Any question or discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. There you go.
All right,
Thank you. Next up is USI Additional Services Supplement, Jim. I see Sherry's here too.
Yes, this is additional services to our pavement asphalt plan that we have to put together that's required for our federal funding. The federal government is requiring us also now to bring our chip and seal roads. The additional services for $29,000, taking up the total contract to $41,136. At the onset of this project, I had received yet another proposal from another consultant. This additional services total amount is still about $8,000 less than the other quote I received.
This time, I'd entertain a motion to approve the additional services supplement number 1 in the amount of $29,000.
So moved.
Any questions? You got anything to add? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Next up, Dan, ordinance 2018-21 introduction.
Yes, this ordinance would establish the Health Department 2018-2019 Preparedness Grant Fund. The Health Department has received a grant in the amount of $15,475 from the Indiana State Department of Health for the 2018-2019 Preparedness Grant. These funds would be used to pay compensation and benefits for a preparedness coordinator and other expenses associated with the administration of the grant. This is a non-reverting fund, and this is first reading.
Any questions? Okay, this will be on our agenda for the August 9th, 14th, or what'd you say? August 14th meeting. Do you have anything, Amber?
No, this is just, we get this every year, so this is just renewal.
Okay. Moving on, next is ordinance 2018-22 introduction.
I did not receive the grant information on that, so I'd ask that you table that.
Okay. I'd make a motion to table the introduction of 2018-22.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? And then the last one is introduction of 2018-23.
Is House Enrolled Act 1056, which took effect July 1st, made certain changes to the provisions of the county code that relate to the composition of the Convention and Visitors Commission. Essentially, the state legislature has eliminated the political component of the appointment that required no more than 2 appointees of each appointing authority to be in one party. They also changed the language regarding what an innkeeper is in terms of appointment and broadened it a little bit and said it could be an innkeeper or it could be anyone in the convention, tourism, or visitors business, or anyone in the business of promoting those things. And then finally, it changed the residence provision for those people and said if you're engaged in that business and your business is in Montgomery County, but you actually live somewhere else, there are certain conditions under which you can still be appointed and serve if you were to live in another county and work here. These changes were made in large part requested by county officials who said, we have trouble finding that kind of political diversity in our county, or we have some people who work here and live elsewhere. So these changes would be made to Chapter 110.03A2. Everything else about your innkeepers stays the same. And again, this change would be made just to be in conformance with that new House Enrolled Act 1056. This is first reading.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Any questions on that, John? All right, that will also be on our August 14th agenda. Moving on, Jeremy, looks like you want to purchase a tractor.
Yep.
This is a tractor boom mower. Zero tractor out of Brookville, Indiana, and they've proposed to us a pretty good agreement, rental and purchasing contract. So Dan looked it over,
What's the amount, Jeremy, do you know?
$99,000.
This time I'd entertain a move. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I would just note that the County Highway Department participates in a purchasing membership association where they go out and put the bids out and ask for quotes and then provide that information to us. So Jeremy did receive different quotes on this. This is his best one. So just to make sure that you're aware of how that works, he's followed the purchasing law like he should, and I looked at the agreement. It's okay.
Well, I think 2 of our 3 or however many implement dealers we have are out of the equation anyway locally. They're Bain and Booth. both, so I'm not sure. I wondered how you came up with Zoom.
At this time, I'd entertain a motion to approve the agreement from the Highway Department to purchase a tractor boom mower.
So moved.
I'll second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Thanks. Takes us down to other business. Anything from you? Dan? Moving on to public comment. Anybody have any public comment? Again, step to the podium, state your name, your address, 3-minute time limit.
Mine is just a question. When you talked about the grants for the veteran court and the drug court, you did not mention who those grants were from. Could you give us that information, please?
I believe that the first grant is from the Indiana Supreme Court. The second, both problem-solving court grant funds are from the Indiana Supreme Court. The Veterans Treatment Program is funded by the Indiana Supreme Court Office of Judicial Administration. And the drug-free grant is provided through the, I believe that's the Indiana Supreme Court as well. Yeah, but I don't have that, I have seen that grant award, but I don't know what it is. I think that's what it is.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Hi, I'm Andra Storms, and I'm representing the residents of Sugar Creek Township, and we are genuinely concerned about the speed limit on those of you that are aware of Road 700 East, which is also known as Stockwell Road. And currently our speeds range from 40 miles an hour when you come out of Darlington to 50 miles an hour to the Tippecanoe County line. And several areas of the road contain sharp curves and hills which are not conducive to the current 50 mile per hour speed limit. And with the current speed limit being 50 miles per hour, which actually starts at Sugar Creek at the bridge, which is the Sugar Creek Township line, to the Tippecanoe line, we have drivers that exceed that speed limit anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour is not unusual. And as many of you know, being a rural area, we have a lot of agricultural equipment. We also have the crop production service plant on our roads, so we see a lot of agricultural equipment. Our understanding is that the road is in the process of being repaved and widened at this time. So I think we are looking to get these issues under control before it becomes a bigger problem. And as one resident put it, this is not Interstate 700. So our proposal is that we would like to see the speed limit lowered to 40 miles per hour to the Tippecanoe County line. We would like to see additional signage put out, and we would also like to see that, you know, that it is enforced. I guess we appreciate you listening, and we look forward to working with you on this matter. But as Barney Fife would say, let's nip this in the bud before it's out of control. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Hearing nothing, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. We're adjourned, thank you.